Welcome to this week's vlog. It's been another really busy week in the Westminster office. We had the sugar industry programme, the cereals development programme, as well as members calling through. On Tuesday, we hosted the whole of the Efra committee, and here's an update on that session. So today we've got the Efra committee here in the London office. This is a great example of the convening power of the NFU. The Environment, Food and Rural Affairs Committee, chaired by Alistair Carmichael, is really influential. It's there to scrutinise the work of DEFRA, and all of the chairs from the NFU, also our devolved colleagues, are here to make sure that the different areas that we're talking about, planning and investment, how we look at the SFI for the future, but also the EU reset and trade. So we're going around 3 different tables, a great opportunity to make sure that members of the committee understand the concerns that are being raised with us by you, our members. Thank you. On Tuesday afternoon, I also had the opportunity to meet the Shadow Chancellor, Mel Stride. First of all, we talked about inheritance tax and tried to secure those commitments that they've made publicly about making sure they will overturn the policy if they have the chance to govern in the future. We also talked about the broader investment landscape, changes to capital tax allowance, which could encourage investment in farm buildings and infrastructure, core standards for trade so that we don't undermine ourselves with imports produced to lower standards, and we create the opportunity for fair returns from the marketplace. A really opportunity as they're developing their future policy to try and influence that agenda and make sure they really are going to stand up for the future of farming and rural communities. On Wednesday, the NFU TB Advisory Group headed over to Pembrokeshire, where we visited Roger Lewis's farm. We met with colleagues from NFU Cymru and vets and farmers that are involved with the Pembrokeshire Project. This is really looking at where there's endemic TB within dairy units. How can they better use data, understand the risk rating of those animals to try and manage them out of the herd, but also make sure they're doing everything possible for biosecurity. It was a fantastic knowledge exchange event, and it really does give you hope that particularly where we have this endemic TB, there is more that can be done on farm to try and manage this insidious disease. It was fantastic of the Lewis family to host us and be so open about the challenges that they've faced from TB over the last decade. And this is how we try and improve in this field. I'm now going to hand over to David for an update.
It's been another busy week for the NFU. I've had an initial meeting with the new Tenant Farm Commissioner, Alan Laidlaw, starting conversations about some of the issues for tenant farmers out there in the countryside, bringing some casework to him, starting to move that relationship and that role forward. Also, we've had today the launch of the Big Farmland Bird Count for 2026. The NFU is sponsoring this, and look, I want everyone to get involved. I'll be doing it out on my farm, spend half an hour on your farm recording the farmland birds. Tell that positive story of all the conservation work, all the work on soils, and all the farmland birds that are on our farms. It's a great way of telling that positive story of farming. Please get involved with it over the next couple of weeks.
Finally, I just want to update on trade. This continues to be a key area of work, and we know that the government have ongoing trade negotiations. It's incredibly important that our sensitive sectors are not further undermined within these trade deals to try and secure access for other parts of the economy. This is going to be a really big test of the government. They've said that they're going to stand firm and that they won't undermine those sensitive areas. And we really hope that when we get the announcements of these trade deals, that that's what they've been able to achieve. Before I finish, I just want to recognise the effort of members that have responded to the supply chain consultation in cereals. There has been a fantastic response into that consultation. It's something that members have been telling us that they wanted for a long while, and it's great to see that many have engaged with that DEFRA consultation. Thank you very much for listening. I look forward to updating you next week.